Hi, this is Rex Richard, and we're going to, in these next series of educational events, be reviewing a great strategy, an absolute killer web strategy that you can employ to empower your business on the web. This strategy is going to be very unique. It'll incorporate ideas you are not likely to have heard before. In fact, a couple of ideas that I absolutely know you will not have heard before, and that are extremely powerful for you to accomplish. So let's get right into it. We have a lot to cover, and basically we're going to be taking a look at a comprehensive social media marketing strategy specifically developed for the swimming pool industry. Most marketing strategies that we have employed to this time have been somewhat fragmented and not necessarily comprehensive, and a lot of this is due to the nature that so much of the technology is new. It is in an immature state, and as it advances, we don't really have well-developed comprehensive strategies. We are just kind of patching it together as it comes. This is true of any new immature technology as it comes out. We're playing with it, we're experimenting with it, and because it's rolling out so fast and gaining traction so fast, we absolutely must be a part of this technology. You take a look at the growth rate of things like Google search and Facebook and Twitter, the numbers are absolutely staggering. The participation levels are staggering. So we can't be left behind. We have to absolutely take a look at what's going on. And now, as the industry is reaching what I would call adolescence, it's not mature by any means, but as it's reaching adolescence, we need to start developing a comprehensive strategy or we will be left behind. Many corporations and industries have already begun early stages of a comprehensive strategy, and as the pool industry, we actually have a chance to get ahead of the curve and really be a leader in this new technology if we so desire. Most of what we're hearing out there is wrong. Basically, we hear a lot about terms like SEO, and they'll use terms like keyword strategies and meta tags and article writing and title tags, and there's so many different aspects of SEO and social marketing. But much of, not all, but much of what is being talked about is that early stage, infant stage of the thinking, and it isn't wrong in that it doesn't work. It's wrong in that it's not mature. It's wrong that it's not complete. It's wrong in that it's not the most effective out there. So to say that keywords aren't important, that's not a true statement. They're just not of as important as they once were as we start to mature and see more of the elements that can be reached on the internet. And we'll be taking a look at that. Lasting solutions to the social media challenges right now aren't being addressed. So let's take a look at a comprehensive view, how we can have lasting changes in this industry of the internet technology and specifically to the pool industry, and create a solution for a lasting social marketing dominance. It's very important because the internet marketing, as we know, it is changing, and it's changing very fast. There is an old school thinking and there's a new school thinking, and the old school thinking is basically the fact that we go in there and we utilize things like keyword strategies and backlinks to create recognition by the search engines for our website. The new school thinking is really different. The new school thinking is basically a strategic accumulator approach. If you're using the word strategic accumulator, it's a descriptive term that I've created for this. And if you see the guy there with the puzzle piece, it's actually a lot of pieces coming together and putting them together in such a way that we get a better net effect than we would if we just use the technologies independent and separate from each other. Things like Twitter and Facebook and article writing and blogging and websites. How does that all fit together? And what is the right strategy in using these? And why might it just be a waste of my time? Because I believe that if you don't do it correctly, it's a total waste of your time. Just being on Twitter and Facebook can be a real time waster if it's not done in a strategic manner. So the next question would be, can you do this alone? Yes, you can. That's absolutely for sure. You can certainly do it alone if you wish. The real question has to be, do you really want to? Okay, because it's very time consuming to do the strategy correctly, and it's not likely that you're going to want to just do it alone if it could be done for you in a cost-effective manner. If you could focus your attention on your personal core competencies, your business systems, your marketing, your sales, the things that you do well, the pool servicing, pool construction, retail, all of those things, that is your core competency. It's what you have built your business around. The internet marketing side can be very time consuming, and if it's not pursued correctly, a big waste. So not likely that you want to do it yourself, but could you? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to show you exactly what you could do so that if you wanted to do it yourself, you would be capable of achieving that. We're going to be taking a look at several things, and the first two elements are going to be 2 videos, and then we're going to have a live webinar. The first video is going to be the strategic side, a little bit of the philosophical and strategic side of why this change has occurred and how it affects us. The second video is tactical, and it's exactly the practical aspects of what you can do to increase your web effectiveness now. And it's a how-to, and it's going to be very comprehensive, some new strategies that will work for you. And if you want to do it yourself, you can take this video, replicate the ideas, and it will work. And then the last part is a live webinar, and we're going to demonstrate a new strategy that will save time, money, and is exponentially more effective. A total solution to this web marketing challenge that we have right now, and why it's eliminating the problem of it being such a time waster for us. There's a lot of hype and confusion out there, and we oftentimes miss the point because of misinformation in this. We're hearing about Twitter, blogging, social networks, all of this, and there is a place for all of those, but the place can certainly be misaligned if it's not done correctly. So where is it all headed? Well, we've got all of these things, Foursquare, Twitter, StumbleUpon, Dig, Facebook, Google Caffeine, Google local search, Google Instant Search. I mean, Google's coming out with all kinds of things. Blogging, AdWords on Facebook ads, which is a new feature. Facebook Places, which is a new feature. Search engine optimization, article writing, Tumblr. All these things, they can be mind-boggling. In fact, there's over 5,000 social networking, social marketing, social sites on the internet now, and which of those are the best to use? What's the right combination? As they come out, how do you know where they are and which ones are going to gain power in the future? Things like Foursquare. 6 months ago when I was talking to people about Foursquare, very few people had heard of it. More are hearing of it now. But it's still one of those technologies that is not understood or known very well. So it's growing in popularity at a rapid rate. That, along with Yelp and some other things, are worth finding out about. And we need to know kind of where it's all headed. And then also we need to know exactly where we should be right now. There's a certain point that where you're so far ahead of the curve where you're irrelevant. If you're into a technology that is not being looked at or listened to by anyone, then it's probably an irrelevant technology. And that would be true of Facebook really 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it's been around 6.5 years now, 7 years almost. And, 2.5, 3 years ago, it really would have been fairly irrelevant because nobody was there, other than maybe to get into it and start learning the technology and developing an early strategy. And that is time consuming. Understanding where it's going, predicting how to utilize it most accurately and powerfully. Same thing of Twitter. Twitter has really come of age in the last 12 months, maybe 18 months, and prior to that, it was a very immature technology and a waste of time. And right now, I would say for 90% of its users, it still is a waste of time. There is strategies that can be used for that. And the same is true of almost all internet technologies, with maybe the exception of Google Search, which is still the most used search engine, Bing coming up second, and Bing now powers Yahoo, and is going to basically be the second player in the field. If you address everything at Google, you'd have about 68% of the total search market. Bing is going to basically accomplish almost everything else that's out there. So there's 2 search engines that if you focused on those 2, you'd be getting the biggest portion of the crowd. So what's the biggest mistake? What's the biggest mistake that is made when we are looking at the social media? Approaching new media with an old way of thinking, I believe, is the biggest mistake. There was an old paradigm. The old paradigm was kind of the corporate approach, and it worked for years in the industrial age, when as we were as a country coming up with an industrial mentality, and we had a product or a service taking it to market, and communication was limited. Now, how was it limited? It was limited to textual communication and print communication. Yes, there was some phone, and there was some facilitation of phone and fax and some other things, but true digital communication was very limited on the old paradigm. So most of our communication had limits, and the limits were in time, in scope, in reach, a lot of things. They were certainly not as international. The new paradigm is changing all of that. So the old corporate dominance paradigm, where the biggest players win, the guy comes in and really tries to crush his competition and pulls out all the stops in their marketing, and they run lots of print and maybe use TV media or radio media for marketing purposes. They basically used a dominant methodology. And marketing was primarily pushed at first, basically meaning we're broadcasting out our sales message and asking you to come to us. We're pushing it out there. You come to us. Buy from me. Buy now. And not that direct marketing is dead, because I still believe in direct marketing, but it is changed, and how we approach it and the vehicle we use for it has changed. Then it was pulled, and pulled is a shorter lived cycle. The cycle of it being pulled was where we kind of went away from pushing, and we went entirely to trying to build relationships and everybody coming to us. And I believe the very best technology that we can possibly use, or best strategy we can use with the new technology, is a hybrid, where we're both pushing and pulling simultaneously and creating a harmony using the technology that we have. There's a balance between the push and the pull, using social media, organic search, email marketing, direct mail, even some of the what I call bridge marketing, going back to some of the traditional marketing methods, possibly radio and direct mail and print, but combining it with search and paid search and social media and email, social media, content sites, that sort of thing. There is a real balance you can create now. There's also a hidden danger, and the hidden danger is that if it's not done correctly, it actually can hurt you. That's one of the things that in the past was not as pronounced. If you messed up on an email campaign or a direct mail campaign or print ad, you could always print a retraction, and not that many people saw it, and it didn't have a way of really growing legs and going out and clobbering you. On the internet, unfortunately, the hidden danger is that it can clobber you if it's not done correctly, in that it can grow legs, it can go viral, it can be spread and taken very far, very fast, and that's a hidden danger. But there's also a missed opportunity. And that's when we focus on the dangers, we become too protective, and we miss the opportunity of being able to use that same viral thinking to go out there and spread our message far and wide rapidly. And the other missed opportunity is people think about just marketing from the sake of how do I get customers to my store, which is a very big concern, and that's where the direct marketing and gap marketing and hybrid marketing all have effectiveness. But there's another aspect, and that's that when my customers do a search on Google, when they perform a search on Google or Bing, how am I being seen? Am I being discovered there? So we're going to take a look at ways that you can get rid of the shackles of old thinking, and then I'm going to ask you to open your mind to some new ideas, and we're going to discover them together. That concludes Video 1, Part 1. In Part 2, we're going to take a look at who your customer really is and how you can expand your market reach.